Thanks for hanging in there. My name is Robert Hampshire. I'm a faculty member at the Ford School of Public Policy, along with being a research faculty member at the Transportation Research Institute, known as UMTRI. So thank you for this panel entitled Mobility at the Intersection of People and Goods. Thus far, we've heard a lot throughout this conference about passenger travel and consumer behavior and the energy and economics of passengers. With this panel, we want to look at that intersection between movements of goods and people. So we're going to bring freight and the commercial perspective along with how that impacts passenger travel. So, there are a lot of different scales at which movements of goods and people might intersect. Certainly at the nationally and internationally, there's some intersection in flight, international travel and package delivery at the airline level. Regionally, of course, historically, rail and long-haul trucking are certainly the ways that goods move and may interact with passenger travel, particularly on our roads, think 94, 96. But also, what's emerging is also locally goods and people intersect. And we're talking about things like, you have FedEx and UPS now delivering gobs and gobs, that's a technical term, gobs and gobs of packages during the first mile and last mile. Well, mainly last mile. And also we have new services that are emerging for delivery, things like Postmates, DoorDash, TaskRabbit, you name it, Uber Eats, so forth may fit into this interaction between movements of people and goods. So, this panel will hit all these scales of interaction, but hopefully we can focus a bit on the regional and local scale about how people and goods are interacting. Let me just say a few remarks and I'll introduce our panelists and we'll get a good lively discussion going to keep the energy going for the last session of the day. So there's this relationship between consumer purchase behavior, travel behavior, and goods movement is most evident when we're looking at online shopping. So according to the new National Household Travel Survey data, that's 2017, that was just released, more than 55% of the respondents have actually purchased something online for delivery in the last 30 days. So that's 55% of people have actually ordered something, let's say, from Amazon in the last 30 days, with an average of five such purchases. So the average person has ordered 5 things off of Amazon, say, in the last month. This is actually a 12% increase over the 2009. So we're seeing a sharp rise in package deliveries. But it turns out that this increase of online shopping is not being compensated by a decrease in personal trips of people shopping. So just because you're shopping online doesn't mean you're not driving to Target and making purchases. So where does that actually leave us? That leaves us with more delivery vehicles on the road and the same number of vehicles. So what are we talking about when we're thinking about congestion, pollution, and energy use in this environment going forward, where you have people driving their own cars and also generating more pickup vehicles on the road? And so, with that, I hope that we can kind of come back and answer some of these questions of what could be done or should anything be done about this, particularly in the urban environment when you're talking about pollution, noise, point sources of pollution with heavy trucks and so forth in the city. So our panelists today, we're going to look at things from the freight level with Cheryl from EPA, and we have representation from passenger travel and how these goods movements and passengers interact with perspective from Lyft. So we have several others in between who are going to give us perspectives from research.